Para maiwasan natin yung ganito na nag-aantay pa yung SUC, doon sa pondo, ay baka naman siguro pagdating ng BICAM, sana wag na tong ulitin. Sana kung merong mga popondohan for our SUC, ilagay sa tiyak na may pondo na at hindi nag-aantay.
Enrolled sila sa SUC, makakatanggap sila ng 15,000 per year hanggang makagraduate sila. Technically, it's for 4 years.
Grabe na! Franz Castro at Janet Garen nagsalpukan dahil sa di pagkakaunawaan. Mga tinagong pera sa ibang proyekto na punta. Pero bago ang lahat, maaari kayong mag-subscribe para maging updated sa mga issue at bagong mga balita. Nagkadulasan na nga ng pananalita at hindi sadyang naisiwalat ang mga nakawang nagaganap ngayon sa gobyerno. Ito'y matapos magsalpukan si Garen at Castro na naging dahilan ng di sinasadyang mga pagbubunyag. Narito ang buong detalye.
Recognized Representative Franz Castro of the ACT Teachers Party List.
The Honorable Franz Castro is recognized for her interpellation.
So magandang gabi po sa ating lahat, lalong-lalo na Madam Speaker, sa ating mga bisita na mula sa iba't ibang bahagi ng ating bansa, ang ating mga opisyales ng iba't ibang mga SUC. So more than 100 SUC ang nandito. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Magandang gabi rin sa ating distinguished sponsors at sa ating iba pang mga nandito para po sa deliberation ng budget sabay ng CHED at ng SUC. So, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, taon-taon po, 9 na taon na ako dito sa Kongreso, dito sa House of Representatives. Napapansin natin yung patuloy or taon-taon, may mga budget cuts sa lahat ng ating mga SUCs, be it MOOE, capital outlay, etc. At taon-taon din naman nananawagan tayo ng mga restoration, itong mga budget cuts. At kami din po ay alam naman natin yung epekto ng mga budget cuts doon sa ating mga SUCs, sa epekto nito noon sa access sa education. Kaya kung hindi po natin paunlarin, hindi natin bibigyan ng sapat na budget ang mga SUC based doon sa kanilang pangangailangan, yung serbisyong pang-edukasyon po sa ating mga kabataan sa tertiary level ay hindi ito magagampanan. So obvious po yun. Ano po yung mga pwedeng gawin ng mga SUC kung hindi natin sila bibigyan ng sapat na pondo, pwede silang mag-cut ng mga enrollees o hindi tatanggap ng mga nag-enroll. Pero syempre, hindi naman nila makakater lahat ng ating mga kabataang estudyante sa kanilang mga eskwelahan. So, sana isa din sa gawin natin talagang policy, Madam Speaker, ay yung talagang maiwasan itong budget cuts, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga SUC. Kaya po, Madam Speaker, nakikiisa ang kinatawang ito sa panawagan ng ating mga colleagues na sa minimum i-restore ang mga budget cuts ng ating mga SUC at sa maximum ibigay yung kahilingan nila na budget. Kasi sila yung nakakaalam kung ano talaga yung pangangailangan ng kanilang mga eskwelahan, Madam Speaker. On free hire underfunding or cuts noted. So halos 18% po, Madam Speaker, na budget cut or 6.5 billion cut Ilan po sa mga major na mga dahilan na nakita natin doon sa mga paliwanag, yung seed fund for development of medical schools in SUC, yung 150 million mula sa 275 million o 45% cut. Isa rin po yung pagtatanggal ng tulong-dunong program na 3.744 billion. yung universal access to quality tertiary education or tertiary education subsidy, may 2.73 billion na cut. Yung legal education regulation program ay 10.859 million cut. General management and supervision may 150.388 na cut. And various projects totaling to 357.447 million cut in capital outlay and MOOE. So wala rin pong increase, Madam Speaker, not even for inflation adjustment. 'Di ba? So kung sa araw-araw po, Madam Speaker, kino-consider po natin syempre yung pangangailangan ng ating mga SUCs. Katulad din yan ng panawagan natin sa basic education na tungkol sa MOOE. Kung wala pong mga adjustment, halimbawa sa inflation, ay talagang magiging problematic yung delivery of services. So sa universal access to quality tertiary education po, yung provision for assistance and incentives, scholarship and grants to student, financial assistance for postgraduate education. So ito po yung mga napansin natin na mga cuts doon sa mga programa po under the free higher education. Sa implementation naman, Madam Speaker, on the universal access to quality tertiary law. So we noted some budget in our budget books the funding requirements for the implementation of UAQTE for SUCs, LUCs, and private higher education institution. Pinopondohan dalawang items sa ilalim ng CHED budget. So namely po yung syempre UACTE, at saka walang increase sa free higher education fund ng CHED, samantalang may malaking budget cuts naman sa TES. So pwede po bang maipaliwanag na ating sponsor yung ganitong pangyayari na yung cut doon sa TES fund po?
Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues, the comparison being given by our very good colleague here is actually comparing 2024 GAA versus 2025 NEP. However, for purposes of budgeting, the comparison should be 2024 NEP vis-a-vis 2025 NEP and 2024 GAA versus 2025 GAA. The alleged cut in the budget actually refers to the augmentation that was done during the bicameral conference last year. And the source of these funds actually came from other departments whose projects cannot be implemented anymore. And that is why this was augmented under the Tulong Dunong program under UACTE. Now on the issue of TES, so it's similar to the SUCs. There is no actual budgetary cut. However, there are programs like the purchase of teaching equipments and infrastructure programs like construction of facilities that will actually start and will finish in a certain particular year. And in this case, projects that has been finished by year 2024 cannot be funded by 2025 anymore. However, this does not preclude Congress together with Senate to accept new proposed programs duly validated and will be funded in the bicameral conference, hence leading to an increase from the proposed NEP of 2025 to an actual GAA of 2025. In other words, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues, yung sinasabing natapyasan ang pondo ng Commission on Higher Education, specifically on UACTE, lalo na yung TES at TDP, ay hindi po aktual na nabawasan. Dahil yung pondo po na yon ay nanggaling sa ibang mga ahensya na hindi na nangailangan ng pondo at ginawang augmentation sa CHED. In other words, we cannot identify the sources as of this point of time because we are still deliberating on various agencies. Once that is done, kagaya ng mga pondong confidential fund na hindi kailangan o yung mga opisinang hindi naman ganun nakalawak ang kanilang gagawin, yun ang pwedeng idagdag bilang scholarship. So at this point of time, Madam Chair, let me reiterate that when we compare budgets, it should be based on, we should be comparing apples versus apples and oranges versus oranges. So it's NEP 2024 versus NEP of 2025 and GAA of 2024 versus GAA of 2025. Precise for me, Madam Speaker, to say that in the GAA of 2023 as compared to the GAA of 2024, there were actually clear increases in both SUCs and the Commission on Higher Education.
Okay. So, Madam Speaker, medyo masyadong mahaba po yung explanation. You know naman, we are running out of time. Anyway, may 1 hour naman ako, plus 2 hours, di ba? So, sinasabi ko lang po yung comparison ng GAA at saka yung sa NEP kasi yun yung actual. Wala pa naman kasi tayo noong 2025 na GAA. So, ang sinasabi lang natin ay ito yung sa totoo lang, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, ito na talaga yung kung hindi magkakaroon ng mga changes sa BICAM, ay ito na yon. Kaya nga
Hindi po, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues, kasi may nakitaan namang mga pondo. Yun lang na hindi natin magalaw kasi hindi pa siya ma-release as of this point of time because it's still being deliberated in other agencies, just like what happened during the previous years. And with regards to tests, actually, the grantees of 600,743 did not decrease. It actually increased. In fact, there is a projected 10% increase in the number of test grantees. Unfortunately, syempre, lalo na yung inopen ito sa mga private schools, medyo marami na sumobra din yung ibang application at hindi na nakaabot sa cut-off yung iba.
So, yun po, Madam Speaker, yung tungkol doon, kaya nga ang worry ko nga, ito, mababawasan yung mga scholarship natin, just in case, no, na mabawasan din. At itong nakikita natin ng mga cuts dito sa ating, lalo-lalo na dito sa UACTE, ay magkakaroon din yan ng epekto. Kung tumaas ang recipient natin ng scholarship, well, wala dito sa report, Madam Speaker and distinguished sponsor. Can you furnish this representation, that data po?
Yeah, willingly, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues. In fact, we have heard of ESIP, the new program which is a convergence of DSWD and CHED. And this has identified a lot of scholars all over the country, specifically on areas where the Bagong Pilipinas Servicio Fair is being conducted. That is not yet reflected in the current proposed NEP of 2025, but that will be reflected in the GAA of 2025. In other words, hindi natapyasan at hindi siya tatapyasan, dadagdagan pa at the appropriate time.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. Next po, yung iba pang mga observation. Yung implementation ng, yung free higher education aspects for SUC ay pinopondohan ng items under the respective budgets. For special provision number 3, common to all SUCs, any deficiencies will be taken from number 1, the SUC's internally generated funds, and number 2 sa HEDF na hawak ng CHED kung may kulang pa. Tama po ba ito?
Yeah, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues, the Commission on Higher Education as well as the SUCs is actually prepared. However, the SUCs have not yet identified their specific deficiencies. Hence, it's not yet moving. That is my understanding, Madam Speaker. Sorry, Madam Speaker, just to add into it, ang problema kasi, dapat gamitin muna nila yung kanilang income before nila magamit yung bago humingi sa Commission on Higher Education and the DBM. I mean, that's the problem. Basically, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues, the problem is we would like to infuse funds to SUCs and LUCs. However, if they are not yet able to fully utilize their income, the Department of Budget and Management restricts the Commission on Higher Education insofar as releasing additional funds. Kasi ang takot nila na bakit natin dagdagan, meron pa at hindi pa nauubos yung kanilang income.
Meron po bang time frame, no? Halimbawa, yung pagsasubmit ng ating mga SUCs, just in case sa fiscal year, kasi alam naman natin, cash, di ba? Cash basis ito. So, in 2 years ba yan? In 1 year? So, meron po bang timeline or time frame sa pagsasubmit ng, halimbawa, deficiencies ng ating mga SUCs?
Actually, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues, it's happened on an annual basis. No? So, ano yung programa na gusto ng bawat SUC, LUC, magkano ang kailangan na budget, magkano ang income nila na ibabawas dyan, at magkano ang kailangan na augmentation. So, that happens, it is a continuing process, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues, that can actually be done by the SUCs and the LUCs. However, for each year, kunyari patapos na at wala pa rin, then we move on to the next year. But the HEDF is still lodged as an automatic appropriation to tertiary education.
Okay, so let me move on to my next question, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker. So yung comparison po natin doon sa GAA at saka yung NEP. So we observed 2.73 billion cut dun sa mga item on UACTE, on tertiary education subsidy, at doon pa kinarga po yung mga grantees ng tulong-dunong. Ilan po ba yung mga grantees ng mga tulong-dunong na ikinarga po natin doon sa UACTE? Kasi supposedly may iba po na mga beneficiary nitong tulong-dunong, tapos kinarga po ito doon sa UACTE. So ang result po, syempre ay mababawasan yung subsidy doon sa ating mga yung ating mga SUCs na nagki-cater dito sa tunong-dunong o yung mga private schools na nagki-cater dito sa tunong-dunong. Ilan po ba yung mga grantees natin po?
For academic year 2023 to 2024, we have 181,430 tulong-dunong TDP grantees. And for the TES, or the tertiary education subsidy, we have 600,743 grantees. And for the free higher education, we have 393,137. All in all, we have 1,843,173 students in 116 SUCs. This is based on academic year 2023 to 2024, and in comparison, for academic year 2022 to 2023, it was actually 168,963. So again, ngayon, 181,430 as compared to the previous year, which was 168,963. That's for TDP. For TES, 600,743 for this year, compared to the previous year, which was actually 374,163. And for the free higher education of 393,137, it was 350,749 during the previous year.
Okay, hindi po ba yung mga beneficiary natin doon sa tunong-dunong at tulong-dunong ay iba pa po doon sa, or may parehas din po na beneficiary doon sa UACTE o magkaiba pa rin?
The TDP is under UACTE.
Oo.
It's under the free higher education program. So meron tayong TES, meron tayong TDP.
Okay, so hindi ba meron ding nakukuha yung mga estudyante na form of subsidy bukod pa doon sa UACTE through the tunong-dunong?
Yes, it's
Diba?
7,500
So,
pesos per semester.
Ang
Ibig
isang
sabihin,
estudyante na naka-enroll na siya doon sa ating mga SUC, pwede pa rin siya mag-avail noong tunong-dunong. Pero
Yes.
sa ginawa, okay. Pero sa ginawa sa ginawa ngayon na parang tinanggal na tong tunong-dunong at nalagay na yung budget doon sa UACTE. So ang ibig sabihin nun, yung naitutulong natin doon sa mga estudyante na nangangailangan. 'Di ba? So iba't ibang mga pangangailangan.
Hindi po,
na-
Madam
na
Speaker,
tuition.
distinguished colleagues, yung sa TDP that is under UACTE, enrolled sila sa SUC. Makakatanggap sila ng 15,000 per year hanggang makagraduate sila. Technically, it's for 4 years. So that is on top. Kasi wala naman, it's presumed that they don't pay fees in the school. That is why the release of the 15,000 per year per student is given directly to the student. However, in the private schools, two ways. Sometimes it's given direct to the private school at bawas sa kanilang tuition. But in certain occasions, and if the need arises, it's also given direct to the student.
Okay. So ito nga lang, Mr. Speaker, sa halip na, Madam Speaker, sa halip na madagdagan, no? Ang iniisip ko lang sana ay sa halip na madagdagan ng pondo itong isang programa na ito na tunong-dunong ay na-incorporate na yan doon sa UACTE. So ang ibig bang sabihin niyan ay mananatili pa rin ba yung policy ng pagbibigay ng subsidy sa ating mga estudyanteng
Definitely, Madam Speaker.
naka-enroll doon sa SUC?
Definitely, Madam Speaker. So, tuloy-tuloy yun. However, there are students who would drop out or let's say, nag-asawa. Meron lang po mga situation, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleagues, na yung student ay lumilipat sa ibang school. So for their TDP to be continued, they should make representations with the school and request CHED so that their scholarship will be transferred. Kasi minsan yun ang nagiging problema na ang expectation nila, Madam Speaker, is parang automatic lang na kapag lumipat sila ng school, bit-bit nila yung kanilang tulong-dunong program subsidy. By the way, Madam Speaker, distinguished
statistics na yan? Kasi madalas kong marinig, Madam Speaker, na may mga nagda-drop out, may mga, yan, katulad ng mga sinasabi nyo. Can you provide this representation, no, statistics? No? Kasi kung
We
sila
will,
ay
Madam
entitled
Speaker.
for 4 years ng ganito, tunong-dunong, nagda-drop. No? Meron ba kayong, at gaano ba yan kalala? Or ka-problematic yung ganyan? Meron ba tayong statistics niyan, Madam Sponsor?
Yes, Madam Speaker. We actually so the attrition rate is actually very high on third year. So for just if we talk about the percentage, no? The percentage for first year 6.55% ang hindi tumutuloy, ang nagda-drop out. Those in second year proceeding to third year is 7.5%. Yung nasa third year naman is 27.54% and yung fourth year is 11.87%. That's the average attrition percentage per year level. And
Okay.
just to cite an example, the total grantees, if we're looking at 2020, the total grantees of 279,366, the total graduates produced was actually 216,231, reflecting a 77.4% graduation rate.
Thank you, Madam Sponsor, Madam Speaker. So, ano po ba yung, meron po bang mga, kumbaga, ginawang study yung ating CHED, kaugnay nito or yung SUC? Kasi mahalaga din syempre, no, iba-ibang mga reasons ng ating mga estudyante kung bakit sila nagda-drop. So, meron din bang pagkakataon na pagka-drop ay bumabalik din doon, no? At meron bang ginawa ang CHED para maengganyo yung ating mga estudyante, no, or ma-solve yung mga problema?
Well,
For
Madam
sure,
Speaker,
yung mga problema na yan ay pwede namang ma-resolve, di ba? Yung mga ganyan.
well, Madam Speaker, distinguished colleague, yes, a study was conducted. There were various reasons cited. First was the economic status of a family, especially if there is like illness and sometimes death in the family. Next is merong iba who decides to have a family of their own and to stop schooling. Ando dun din yung iba na kapag merong opportunity to work, especially if the salary is attractive and the family needs the support of that student, the students will opt to work. Parang it's technically it's a gap year, pero hindi naman talaga totoong gap year. They will work for a year or two. At marami po, to a certain percentage, medyo naiinganyo silang magtrabaho, medyo hindi na bumabalik sa school. So, there has been moves by the department, by the Commission on Higher Education to entice them to come back. And that is one of the thrusts is actually the Tulong Dunong program. In fact, the research conducted was actually enhancing access and success in SUCs, but this was limited to 3 regions initially, Region 1, Region 8, and Region 12. And the difficulties